Hi, Gene with today's thought, and today we're talking about inflation. And the reason we're talking about inflation is today, Tuesday, the day before you're seeing this, we got the latest inflation figures, and they are 3.1 inflation. And the month before that was 3.2. So inflation, the inflation rate is a tenth of a percent lower than the month before. So whoopee, let's all go out and celebrate because prices are still going up. They're going up too much. Everybody knows that if you go shopping. And the president is out there saying, well, he's saying inflation is down because it's down from the 9% that it was a year or so ago. All of this inflation because of the president's policy, spending all this, and the Democrats spending all this money, and the Treasury Department has to print the money to cover these costs, and lo and behold, we get inflation. But the president, he never takes responsibility. He always goes out and does the same thing, which he just did. And I'm going to give you the playbook. This happens every single time. And what he did was he called, he said, inflation is down, so producers, the stores, the manufacturers, they should lower their prices because inflation is down. The ignorance is just astounding to me, or knowing the facts and just assuming how stupid the rest of us are. But it doesn't, if inflation is down but it's still happening, it doesn't mean you lower prices. It just means you don't raise them as much. So hopefully prices won't go up, but you should expect prices to go up to be 3.1% higher than a year ago. And if you go far enough back, actually somebody did one of the financial channels, they did the movie Home Alone, and I never saw the movie, but apparently the kid goes into a store and he buys some stuff, and I don't remember what, well, I don't know because I didn't see the movie, but whatever happens, the register, the cashier rings it up, and it's something like $19, and the cost of the groceries or whatever the heck he bought, and somebody calculated and say, what would those same things cost today? And the price came out $68. So I think the movie was 1990. So that's how much prices have gone up. Wages definitely haven't gone up that fast, and that's why we get poorer and poorer every year because of this inflation. But this is a playbook that they always use, the Democrats, which is because I've never heard a Republican do this, but you have the Congress, Democrats pass some kind of policy, and the spending goes up. The Republicans, if they're not in power, they can't stop it. They can stop it in the House. They can't stop it in the Senate unless they have 60 votes to enough to prevent enough to filibuster, to prevent. So I won't get into the details. Enough that they can't stop it. If the Democrats want to spend the money, then they can spend it. You need for the Republicans to prevail, they need 60 votes. So if they don't have 60 votes, then the Democrats can filibuster and stop it. So it's really on the Democrats. And I've never, in my entire lifetime, the Republicans never had a 60 vote, 60 seats in the Senate. And I'm hoping, I hope and pray every election cycle that they will, and then they could be held responsible. To be honest, if they have the White House and the House and 60 votes, that's important. 60 votes in the Senate, and the spending continues to go way up, then they can be held responsible. But right now, sorry, until they have those 60 votes, it is really the Democrats who are responsible. So they always run the same play over and over again. Enact policies they just spend money, the spending, inflation goes up, and then they browbeat producers and say, lower your prices. They accuse them of price gouging. That's the bottom line, and that's what Biden did. He accused them once. He said inflation is down. It's only 3.1%. So stop price gouging and lower your prices, which of course makes no sense, because if inflation is going up, that means you just raise your prices less. If it's you raise your prices less if inflation is 3% than if it were 9%, which it was before. Prices are now they're a tad over 17% higher prices, inflation, than it was. Well, prices are 17% higher than when Biden took office. And by the way, when Trump left office, inflation was 1.4%, which to me that's below the Fed's target of 2%. But to me, inflation should be zero. It should be zero. But that's another story for another day. The point is, these accusations, they're socialists. That's basically their shtick. That prices are arbitrary, that producers, if prices go up, they must be price gouging. That can be the only reason. And the thing they forget, because again, they're socialists, there's this thing called competition. And if the producers, they compete against each other, so that keeps prices down. They don't want to raise their prices because they'll lose business to other people who will price their products and services lower. But when you have inflation, that affects everybody, and everybody raises their prices. This is so obvious. It's either Democrats don't get it, or they do get it and they think the rest of us are stupid. We'll find out how stupid we are in 2024, November 2024, when we have the election. And that's my thought for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.